Hola from the west side. It is me, DC the Purple Diva. Happy Sunday, y'all. I hope everybody have a great weekend. I definitely had a good weekend. Great Sunday morning. Great Sunday evening. Started going to a conference that I go to every year. And this is the 25th year of it. And it's actually like a leadership conference that's at my church. I go to it every year. But this is the first year and that we're doing it virtually. So it's a different experience. I mean, we've been going to cyber church for like 8, 9 months now. you know, which in and of itself is crazy. But it was I was really happy to be at the conference. Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna do it. You're gonna roll it? Okay. I was really excited to be at the conference. And we're doing it on Zoom. And that's the only time I use Zoom. It's like I have never used Zoom on YouTube. I know I'm digressing. But I've never used Zoom on YouTube. You know, I've only used it like, for meetings, obviously for like rehearsals for the movies and stuff, but never, I don't know. People say it's easy to use on YouTube, but I haven't figured it out yet. So that's probably why I haven't used it. But I do see people using it. But it's interesting seeing other people using it, and have been in. I don't think have I think I've been on. I think I might have been on someone's panel. No, I haven't been on anybody's panel that was using Zoom yet. Yeah, I haven't. Because my Zoom is not tied to my YouTube. Just it's just my Zoom. You know, and actually I use it like for other stuff, and on there I'm kind of using my own name. We use our name when I'm doing that kind of stuff. But the meetings were really good. I mean, this evening, we're talking about really being the elect of God. And I mean, I know that during this time that a lot of us have been kind of locked up for a lot of the year in close quarters and everything. I don't understand, how people don't believe in a higher power. It's amazing to me, you know. Seriously, it is. But you know, the meeting tonight was really good. We had Bishop Mark Sharona on there speaking for a little while. We They played some of the choir that my son is in from some years back before he was even old enough to be in it. And it was fun to see some of the people who were then like really young, like I'm talking about in their 20s, who are now, some are, you know, late 30s, close to 40, have families of their own and everything, but just back in their youth singing because, you know, a lot of the people, a lot of the kids have grown up in this church. I mean, I think I've shared with you guys that the artist D Smoke, um, the artist Sir, both grew up in my church. They still go to church there too, by the way. They still go to church. They're church boys. Their mom is the minister of music. But, you know, it's, it's just a revelation of the people that have come through there. And it was it was nice to see everybody on Zoom tonight and to be able to like kind of talk after the meeting part and just, share what we've been doing the lock-in, because really, for the most part, we've, been going to church online. So, I mean, of course, you can talk to people in the chat online. At first, we were on Facebook, but then, Facebook started hating. So, my pastor had to take us off of Facebook and live stream from, our church website. Thank God we, are one of those churches that had a website. But, Facebook was censoring. So, but they don't censor the hate. But I digress. It was just nice to talk to everybody. And, they all got to see my son. Because literally, when we go to the encounters, because we've had a couple of encounters at our church where we've done the thing out in our parking lot. And it's really cool, but you're not really talking, we're basically raising our hands to the Lord and making a joyful noise. And we're staying far, far away from people so that, we're practicing social distancing. So we're not really having any real conversations when we do these praise and worship services once a month. This was like literally like one of the first times, since we had to close the church, that some of us actually got to talk to each other, because many of us, are really, really involved in the ministry. And it was funny because some of the pastors that are under my pastor were talking about how they've had more people, attending the cyber services, and people have been given more and everything, you know. But, that it was, it's good to see people's faces. Because, I think I've told you, I mean, we are social people. And for many of us, trying to get through this, it might be, a little difficult if you're not used to being by yourself or not used to constantly being around the same couple of people. I know it's difficult with my son. It's difficult trying to get him acclimated back to things that he's going to need to do as things start to open up and he goes back to doing his services, that kind of stuff. But it was a really good meeting. Hey, Matt. It was a really good meeting. I'm going to be doing the virtual meetings for the next 2 days, you know, and I've taken like the first 3 days of the week off. But to make up for not working, you know, me, I was getting my bag this weekend because there was work to be done. So I was working yesterday, working a little bit today. This next paycheck's gonna be looking nice. Hey, Miss Pamela. But I was just in a really good, live stream. Hated to leave, but I have to do my own live stream, and you know, I love to support other people, but I'm grinding for those 4,000 hours, y'all. But anyway, I was in a live stream. It was talking about really about the substantial things in being in a relationship between a man and a woman. It's not all about what's in between your legs. You know, in other words, a WAP is not going to keep a man if that's all you have to offer. But it was a really interesting live stream. I did post it in my community tab. Shout out to JV Dessalines. She's doing some really good panels on her channel. She used to it used to be called Feminine and the Overload, but she changed it back to her name, JV Dessalines. And she does a lot of just things, just talking about kind of stuff you should watch out for. Good information for for the younger women. But I like to support her. But you guys, if you guys saw my little funny this morning, that was funny to me. I went and got some coffee this morning, and I happened. It's hot out here in Cali, okay, y'all. So I did have on a midriff top, but I was, I had a little, throw over it, but she could still see, my flat stomach. And, she was like, I guess, shocked that I had flat stomach. And so she thought that I must have never had a kid. But y'all see my baby on camera. He's going to be 25. And he was a big baby. Yes, he was. But as I said, y'all excuse my neighbors with their loud cars. But as I said, I got good genes, you know, and now I did work out for a number of years. I don't really work out that much now. I do a little and I go walking, but I'm not working out like I was before. I mean, I was like in the gym. Not doing that, especially in the middle of Corona. But I just am naturally athletic built. It's just what God blessed me with. I am built like my daddy's mama. Rest in peace, grandmama. And it is what it is. Some of us, it's, we're just, we don't, even when our metabolism is slowing down, we still just are this size. And we don't have to work at being small. It is what it is, you know. But, I got, fat where I need to have it. But I'm proud of my flat stomach. you know, it could be a little bit more defined, and if I did a little working out a little bit, all that definition would come back, but it's flat and it's not flabby. So it is, it, you know, I thought that was just funny this morning because I forgot that I had a midriff on. I really did. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was too busy trying to get some coffee, y'all. Hey, Jack. Oh yeah, no. Well, you see, now that's the thing. Now, younger women may not know this, but older women find this out. When you get to a certain age, you don't have to worry about shaving your legs anymore because hair no longer grows on your legs after, um, and I think it has something to do with the pause. I think it has something to do with the pause because I'm one of those girls that had hairy legs when I was younger, and I was also from the East Coast, and I was from the DMV, and we didn't shave our legs back there. I was not one of those girls that shaved their legs. Sorry, not sorry. Didn't shave my legs. Didn't. I I think I might have got my legs waxed like 2 times, and by the time I did that, maybe I was in my 40s. But I would wear stockings, so nobody was seeing my bare hairy legs. If I had on a skirt. But what I found is I don't even get any hair on my legs anymore anyway, so it's a no-brainer. There is no hair there, and I'm pretty sure that has to do with the pause. So I'm good with that. So no razors have to touch my legs; they stay the way they are. We just have to deal with other things that need to be trimmed and groomed and all that kind of stuff and landscaped. you know, that stuff doesn't stop. But the shaving of the legs, yeah, goes away. At least it did for me. Well, I didn't shave my legs. I think I shaved my legs one time, but as I got older, the hair just thinned out and it just went away. So we good. And some guys like hairy legs. They don't have a problem with girls with hairy legs. You know? Nobody ever complained about hair on my legs. But and I mean, I wasn't like I didn't have like like the thick, like Sasquatch or ape thick hair, but it was thick enough. I think it was thick enough, that I had to wear stockings to cover it up when I was younger. But I saw some women who would have their bare legs and no stockings and they didn't shave. Now that's, yeah, I had enough sense to not do that. You know, I did with that. But it's interesting the things that women go through. Like I like here where I am, like the nail salons and stuff are just now starting to go back inside and be open. So I'm gonna see if the place where I get my pedicures is back open and I'm comfortable with how they have the layout to see if I want to get my feet done because I would love to get my feet done. you know, I mean, I've been trying to keep them up myself, keep them pretty myself, but it's nothing like having someone else massage your feet and do your feet for you, you know. Now, the nails have been on fleek because, you know, my nail guy has been doing nails, but they just opened up the places to do pedicures and stuff, and I just haven't been brave enough to venture back in yet. But I need one because I don't want to do it myself anymore. I know, yeah, and for pretty feet too. Pretty hands and pretty feet. You know, I mean, those are just pamper yourself things. And, you know, they're little things, but, you know, getting a manicure, get a pedicure, are just little things to make, you know, to reward your hands and your feet for doing a good job. I know I want to go, but, you know, yeah, that's the thing. I need to do it. Maybe because I'm off the next couple of days. Maybe I'll go check out and see if they're open. I haven't even been by where they are, like literally since before I haven't even been in that area. So I should go over there because I know that someone told me that they will open back up. Because I could go like, if they're open back up, then maybe I could go like early in the morning, like on Tuesday, and get my feet done. You know, because I mean, I'm in California, so it's basically flip flop weather all year long for the most part, except for when it rains. You know, and for those who don't know, even though I grew up, you know, in the DC area, I grew up out in Maryland. Let me just tell you, we wore flip flops all the time back there too. You know, we just did. It was a thing. And we didn't call them thongs. They call them thongs out here. They're flip flops. Why do we call them flip flops? Because they flip flop. Because they flip flop. So we call them flip flops. Yes. So I guess for that perspective, I have acclimated to, you know, to the California thing of, you know, never wearing socks, always having my feet out, you know. And if you always have your feet out, then you better have your feet looking nice. You can't have ugly feet out. It's an embarrassment. Yeah. And it just feels, I mean, I know how to do my own feet. I know how to keep my own feet looking pretty. I just like it when they do it, when you can just soak for like 20 minutes. And then they put that, you know, whatever that stuff is they put on there that's supposed to make your feet soft. Sometimes I like them to do the the hot wax. Now I actually have one of those. You know, the thing so you can put the wax on your feet to pull off the dead skin. I actually have one of those. And I've done that at home. That does feel good. But yeah, my feet need some super pampering, better than what I do myself. But, you know, before I get my feet pampered, you know, you always do certain stuff yourself. Because certain things you don't want them to do. First of all, they can't use certain tools anymore in the salon. because it's just not for health and safety reasons. But I always bring my own emery boards. I kid you not. When I go to the to get my feet done, yeah, I bring my own. Yeah, you can use mine. You can use mine or my feet. You know. Does anybody else do that? Is that weird, or is that just making sure that you don't get foot fungus? I mean, I'm just trying not to get foot fungus. I know that they clean everything. I know they clean out the things and all that, but I know that I can ask them to use my brand new thing on my feet and then just hand it back to me. That's quite fine. I don't want to use the one that you used on 5 people before me. I don't, and they probably use it on 10. They've been using it all day, you know. I want the fresh one on my feet. I don't want some other people. Oh, I don't want some other people's. It's. I remember there was a point where some of them were giving you your own like little kits to use when you would come there. They had to stop doing that because there was some health and safety issues with that. But they will let you use your own pumice stones and emery boards for your appointments, just like you can use your own nail polishes. Oh, your granddaughter does yours. She does a great job. Yeah. Well, I do a good job on my own, but I miss somebody else doing them. I just miss it because it's like a pamper thing, But the sad thing is that this governor in this state, I think there was like one case that happened in a nail salon, and because of that isolated incident that had happened, at the beginning, it was it was like pulling teeth to let them open back up. And you have women going around here, looking like their feet looking like Bigfoot claws and stuff, having to hide them behind under socks and stuff. So I'm sure they happy that the nail places was open back. And for those women who weren't able to go to the hair salon, because I believe the hair salons are starting to open back up now too. You know, that was a time for you to figure out how to love your hair. Because y'all, you see, I'm consistent. My hair's always in braids. Because that's my style of choice. Now, of course, I take it down, you know, every blue moon. And I flat iron my hair out, you know, so that people know I do actually have a head full of hair. But we have nothing to prove. So we don't. I mean, my man likes it, and that's all that matters. But he said you wouldn't. I know that's what I'm saying, And there are some men who are like foot freaks. And a woman with tore up toes is just not the move. You know, even men who are not into it, into the feet, they still like to see, that you take care of your feet. Because if you take care of your feet, that means that's kind of a hint that you take care of yourself overall. Hint, hint. That's why, I mean, but now we don't get our feet done and we don't get our hair done if we ain't taking care of other stuff that we need to be taking care of. Those are pamper things, but they're pamper things that I miss. And since everything else is being taken care of, we can take care of those things now too. Oh man, Tiffany, Common talked her into that madness. I feel he like it. He like it. Ain't that crazy? He likes it. But you know what? Remember he was with Erica, and maybe he trying to make her be like Erica with the bald head and stuff. But she slaps a wig on when she got to, so she's not bald headed all the time. But she got a big head. That's I can tell you that much. She got a big head. She got a fat head. See, now you got me picturing the girl's fat head. Yeah, you know, everybody shouldn't go bald. Shouldn't have their hair cut that close. Because we all don't have the right shaped head for that. Now I have a beautifully shaped head, but I'm not cutting my head to bald. And see, if it looked like Tasha Smith's sister Sidra, now Sidra, Sidra looks good with the bald head. You know, it suits her face. You know, but I love you, Tiffany, but girl, you sure you're not going through something? But supposedly Common loves it. I know the rumors were going around that they weren't together. Nah, y'all, they still together. You better watch out. That girl will pop a baby out on him. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to say, Common, I hope you wrapping it up. Because Tiffany will pop a baby out on you. I don't think he wants to have no more kids. Because isn't his kid like almost grown? I don't think he want to have a kid right now. Yeah, Eve looks good with her hair cut short. But like, what I'm saying is this, that with that bald look like that, Sidra, Sidra Smith, Tasha Smith's sister, her twin sister, she pulls it off magnificently, and she's had that look for years. She modeled, with that look. Yeah, look her up on Instagram. Look up Sidra Smith on Instagram. You'll see what I'm talking about. Y'all know, who Tasha Smith is, the one. that was in Why Did I Get Married and Why Did I Get Married Too? Yeah. And she was on, what was the show she was on? She was on The Wire back in the day. Yeah, she played a crackhead on there. That was like one of her first gigs. Way back in the day. Way, 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 way. But yeah, a bald head is not for everybody. It is not for everyone. You know? It's just not. And I mean, I've seen many women, like when they get into when they start going through the change, or they hit the wall, or they get to the pause, they start going short, going, like because they just can't deal with the hair and the sweating and everything. DC is not doing that. I'll just keep it in braids. Okay, and I'll deal with the sweating. But I refuse to shave my head off, cut my hair short. I'm not into that. And I mean, it looks good on a lot of women. Looks great. I'm just not doing it because, yeah, I'm not. I actually look younger with my hair longer. I think if I did the shorter, it would I would probably look older. I would probably look more my age than not my age. You know what I mean? Yeah, because I don't know, women in their 50s, start chopping off their hair for black women. Let me just say that. No, and actually, it's not even black women. It's women. Period. Start chopping off the hair. Like, I'm not chopping off my hair. I'll braid it up. Hey, Terry. I'll braid it up. Oh, massaging to sleep with that lavender oil. Yeah, but those low cuts are not for everyone. You know, and I'm not into being bald headed, and my man ain't into me being bald headed. So, yeah, all of the above. It's like all of the above. So, but I love all the different braid styles that I do. I'm kind of like right now. I've put all of these beads and cuffs around my single twist. So I'm kind of liking all the bobbles right now. And it's like I remember, like remember back, was it like back in the 70s when we would get the braids and we'd have the beads to infinity. Yeah, but this is not, obviously this is not that extreme. We're putting one here and there. Yeah, I can't do the beads, the Venus and Serena beads thing. No, we're not doing all that. That's too much, too many. But I've got the baubles throughout with the little shells and stuff. I remember that Patrice Rushen, you know, little fingers, little bitty fingers. she used to wear all these beads and like all kinds of, beautiful stuff in her braids. It was, I was, she was rocking the braids for a long time. I mean, and her hair got so long, just keeping it braided up all the time. Oh, the cone heads! I forgot about the cone heads. They were hilarious. SNL. Ha! SNL has been having a field day with the this election period. But y'all know a lot of people are voting early. I'm gonna find me one of these voting centers and I'm gonna go vote early too. Matter of fact, I'm not waiting to November 3rd. I'm not mailing my ballot in. I'm just gonna go and because I did it in the primary, so I know how the little machines work. My son will do the mail-in one though. I'm gonna have him do the mail-in because those machines, that's gonna be too much for him. It's the touch screens that they have now. He was able to deal with it, before when all he had to do is, punch the little thing, but he's not going to be able to do the touch screen, you know, and the fact that he doesn't like the fact that he needs assistance when he votes. So it's better for him to vote by mail because then all he has to do is X, you know, and we don't have to go through all of the stuff. It's much easier to vote by mail for him. So that's going to be his permanent option. And hopefully now that we re-register him, they won't knock him off the register again. Because if you're gonna ask him to come do jury duty, then he can vote. But he doesn't have to do jury duty. But he can still vote if he wants to. There's a little law out here in California for people who have developmental disabilities. All they have to do is express that they want to vote, and if they know how to read the ballot and X, then they can vote. Period. So I don't know who he's going to vote for because my son is a Bernie Sanders fan. He liked Bernie. I don't know why the kids are so, you know, liking Bernie. It's really weird that so many of them gravitated towards him. And, now, when I was talking about like last night with people like Ice Cube who have come out and, are publicly endorsing or saying that they're supporting Trump, however you want to take it. Um, I already told you guys that there are some black people that were always going to vote for this man because for many of us, it's not even for. Well, I'll just say for many people who happen to be black who are voting for Trump, it's not about whether it's what he's doing for black people. It's about how the last 4 years have looked for them. And for some of them, they're better off now than they were during the Obama administration. Now, granted, for many, it may be because of things that happened during the Obama administration, and therefore they were able to reap the benefits during the Trump administration, is what I think. However, um, you know, this is the reason why some of them are choosing to vote for him again. But at least they're voting, because we cannot have a 60% turnout. That's why people are voting early. And I would encourage all of you who are voting to vote early if that is an option in your state. Do not wait. Please do not wait, because I promise you there's going to be long ass lines on November 3rd. I promise you there will be. Pandemic or no pandemic. So if you got the option to vote early, I know Texas is voting early. I know we're voting. We can vote early here in California. Um, I don't know if New York is voting, can vote early. I know that they're voting early, like in the DMV. But a lot of states are allowing early voting this year. That probably normally wouldn't do it, but because of what we're dealing with, and because of the nightmare of the long lines during the primary, nobody wants to even think about it. They don't want that to happen. We can't have that. You know, I know every election is critical, but it's not just about the presidential election. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's happening on November 3rd in a lot of different states. You know that there are some states that have been in anticipation of a primarily conservative Supreme Court, which is about to be, um, have been slowly, you know, picking away at Roe v. Wade, and are doing everything in their power to have it get reversed. So I'm just gonna say this. I I can say this with pretty good certainty that if 45 is reelected, that there will probably be a repeal. There'll probably, yeah, there will be a repeal of Roe v. Wade during his next administration. You know, that's what he's setting the Supreme Court up for those of you who don't know. You know, for those, evangelical Christians, you know, in the middle of America and in the South, who want all abortions, no matter what, no matter what their circumstances, to be illegal, and it to go back to therapeutic abortions. And if you don't know what therapeutic abortions, this is the term that they used, before it was legalized. And pretty much the only ones who were able to get therapeutic, and I'm doing air quotes around it, were white women who economically could afford. And all they had to do is act like they were distressed, whatever the case may be. If it was causing them distress, whatever that distress was, the doctors could legally terminate the pregnancy. And they called it a therapeutic abortion. That's what they called them. We want to be back to that. We're going to be back to the coat hangers, or people taking drugs and doing crazy things. Now I've told you guys I'm pro-choice because it was my choice to have my child, and it should be every woman's choice. Now, obviously, if they are in a relationship and with the person who impregnated them, then that should be a discussion between the two of them. But we don't want to go back to illegal abortions. I mean, having a baby itself is a life-threatening thing. Women still die having babies. We don't want women dying because they're having a procedure done illegally, or if they don't die, being made sterile and having their insides ripped up by somebody who didn't know what the hell they were doing. There's this interesting documentary, that's on Netflix called Reversing Roe that talks about this very subject. It was put out a couple of years ago, when they started doing all of those crazy laws in the state of Missouri, where they got it down to there being only one place in the entire state and pretty much one doctor in the entire state that was performing abortions. This is in the state of Missouri. I mean, it's just amazing where we're going in regards to this. Do I not believe that a baby, that it's life from conception? I do. I absolutely do. But it's not my decision, to make when it's not my body and it's not my child. That's how I feel. But what's going to happen is if they reverse Roe v. Wade, is that it will no longer be, women will not be able to make the decision themselves. It will be men who will make the decision as to whether women cannot have a baby. It'll be back to that. It'll be taking that fundamental right away from them. And I mean, and I'm saying this as someone who's a Christian, but I believe that that's something that they're going to have to deal with between them and God. Because do I think having an abortion, do I think that it does something to you? I absolutely think that women are affected by it. They're affected by that just like as if they had lost a baby. But they're affected by it because in most situations, by the time a woman has an abortion, they can feel that child, at least the first flutterings of it. You know what I mean? So, but it's again, it's still not my decision to make for them. And it's not somebody else's decision to make. It's not some, it's not some men who don't have to carry children and don't have to worry about um, if they got raped, because or if their life is in danger if they have a child. All of these situations, or if they just simply do not want to have a child. Like they brought up this situation in that about that lady from Romper Room back in the day, and who had 4 children and wanted to get a therapeutic abortion and was not able to get one and had to go to another country to get it because of the laws in this country at that time. Now, the amazing thing is that what I see, and this could be a sexist statement to say, but there's probably more men who are opposed to abortion or the right to abortion than women. At least in what I see. And of course, that crazy church that I came out of, grew up in, well, they're definitely against it. They don't even believe in birth control. None other than the Roman Catholic Church. I always want to make sure that I make that distinction because it's the Church of Rome. But, and I'm getting towards the end. I just, Hey, Francis! I haven't seen you in the chat in a minute. I always check out your uploads though. How are you? I'm just running my mouth. What you say? What you say, Pam? There's a program where these transgender women change over to men, and it's called My Husband's Having a Baby. Oh my goodness. I don't even need to watch that. You know, I don't have any issues with transgenders other than they seem to have an issue with natural born women. We don't have a problem with them, they have a problem with us. Don't know why, you know. But, you will never be a natural born woman. Even, with changing things. I understand that is how they feel on the inside. However, even their inside is not female. And in order to be, in order to be a female, they have to basically tear up the body that they were born in. And that's where it's just, it's hard for me. But, it's not my struggle. And I know it's, the technical term for it is, they call it what? I forget what it is. Dysmorphia or something like that. But, I'm going to have to go look for that one, Miss Pam. I'm about to get off of here, you guys. Let me see what are you saying. In the case of rape, see, that's the thing, though, Matt. But with if they reverse Roe v. Wade, then it won't matter. Rape will it will be illegal in the case of rape as well. They will only be able to get these therapeutic abortions. It'll go back to that madness. So, anyway, I'm going to come on camera before I get off of here. It's kind of dark in here, so, because it's hot and I've got the lights down low. Hey, everybody. How are you guys? Thank y'all for coming out. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I will be back on tomorrow, as always. David is gone. David is upstairs. So he will not be jumping on camera tonight. He'll be back on tomorrow. But I'll be back on in the morning, with my morning video. I don't know. I may jump on sometime during the daytime too, because I'm off. It just depends on, you know, how the conference is going. Between sessions of the conference, I might jump on, say hey for a minute. But I will definitely be on later on tomorrow night. But until then, I offer you guys peace and blessings from the west side. Oh yeah, you see my little beads? See the beads? Yeah, I like those. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.